Hey everyone, AJ here from Whole Latte Love with an in-depth look at the CREM ONE Infuser. It's one of 4 models in CREM's ONE line of prosumer-level espresso machines. In this video, we'll cover the aspects that make the CREM ONE series so powerful, features specific to the infuser, and a full guided tour of the internal components. Before we dive in, a quick backstory on CREM. If you've been around the home espresso game for a while, you'll certainly recognize the name Expobar. They produced a number of incredibly successful espresso machines over the years, but arguably the most popular was their dual boiler model, which we helped inspire and name the Brewtus. So what's the connection here? Well, Expobar machines were always produced by the Spanish company CREM. More recently, CREM started designing machines under their own name, based on the tried and tested technology they used in their Expobar models. A few years ago, CREM was acquired by Welbilt, a US-based company that specializes in innovating commercial-grade food service products worldwide. With the support of Welbilt, CREM brought those machines that they had been working on to market. And that leads us to where we are today with the CREM ONE lineup, a series of 4 machines that all have a similar outward appearance, but their own unique set of internal components and features. The ONE Infuser builds upon the foundation of the Expobar Brewtus to create an even more powerful and versatile espresso experience. It's the next step up from the Crem ONE Duo-V, adding upgrades such as a rotary pump and Gradual soft pre-infusion. The ONE Infuser has 2 copper boilers with brass end plates, one for brewing and one for steaming in hot water, but the setup of these is different from what you'll find in machines from other manufacturers. The steam boiler has a heat exchanger running through it, which preheats the water feeding the brew boiler. At 1.5 liters, that brew boiler is the largest we've seen in a machine this size. The large capacity combined with the preheating system leads to extremely consistent brew temperatures and fast recovery times. I have no problem at all pulling drinks back to back to back several times over. The Infuser shares a lot of the attractive features with the rest of the ONE lineup. You have the ability to run the machine from the removable water reservoir or hooked up directly to a water line and drain line. It has an SGS approval, which is the equivalent of an NSF rating. This certifies the CREM ONE for commercial use, but also gives home users the peace of mind knowing that the machines have gone through rigorous testing to ensure quality and lasting performance. Dual PIDs let you precisely control the temperature of each boiler down to a ½ degree Celsius. You also have the ability to easily turn on or off individual boilers and schedule machine on-off times for each day of the week, so that it's hot and ready to brew whenever you need it. CREM's custom E61 group includes a pre-infusion chamber located above the shower screen, which slows down pressure buildup and gives the coffee more time to swell before full flow through the puck. This can reduce channeling and provide a more balanced extraction. To take that idea farther, let's talk about the feature that gives the ONE Infuser its name, and that's the option for Gradual soft pre-infusion. Due to the inclusion of a super quiet variable speed DC pump, you have the power to slowly ramp up brew pressure over a set amount of time, programmable from 2 to 30 seconds. This opens up far more control to customize your espresso. For example, for a fresh, light roast, you may want a long, slow pre-infusion to tame brightness and allow the coffee to off-gas early on in the extraction. Or at the other end, you may want a short pre-infusion or none at all if you're using a dark roast or slightly older beans, but still want a full, balanced flavor profile. Because I love the sound of this machine and specifically this feature so much, I'm going to pause just to let you experience a shot with a 10-second ramp up. It's well known that rotary pumps are quieter and provide more consistent pressure than vibration pumps in espresso machines. The one advantage that vibe pumps can claim is a more gradual buildup of that pressure, which is desired in some situations. The Gradual soft pre-infusion feature on this machine gives you the best of both worlds, with a level of control that is unachievable on vibration pump machines. That OLED screen is angled up for easy viewing and mimics an angled section at the base of the faceplate that serves as a shot mirror. If you have a bottomless portafilter, you can easily monitor shots and diagnose issues with puck preparation without having to bend over and see underneath. In the box with the CREM ONE Infuser, you get a full Pro accessory kit. This includes a dual spout portafilter with an angled handle for easy tamping, 3 filter baskets, 7, 14, and 18 grams, a blind filter for backflushing and brew pressure adjustment, group brush, cleaning tablets, heavy-duty tamper, milk frothing pitcher with embossed volumetric measurements, a 2-hole and 3-hole steam tip, water and drain lines, and a custom adapter to get you from BSP thread to US standard plumbing fittings. The 2 included steam tips both produce excellent results for texturing milk. Here's a full minute of steam with each tip sped up. You can see on the gauge that over time the 2-hole tip holds its pressure level consistently, while the 3-hole tip gradually drops a little more as time goes on. The trade-off is that the extra jet of steam can help when mixing the air and creating a powerful roll in your milk. Which tip you use depends on personal preference, but because you get both, you get the option to experiment and choose your favorite. Speaking of steaming, the extra large work surface above the drip tray gives you the option for hands-free milk frothing. Depending on the size of the drink you're making, just put your pitcher on the deck and place the steam wand so that the tip is right at the surface, then open your half-turn steam knob. You'll start injecting air, then as the milk expands, it'll cover the holes and continue mixing and heating. Built into that work surface is a removable platform which raises your clearance under the spouts to just over 4 inches and allows you to use taller cups or a scale. Under that, you get a huge 1.9 liter drip tray. This means fewer trips to the sink to empty it, or if you never want to deal with that at all, just hook up the drain line to the bottom through a pre-drilled hole and you don't have to worry about dumping it ever. Another benefit to this large capacity ties into the ability to drain the brew boiler directly into the drip tray. With a 1.5 liter boiler and a 1.9 liter drip tray, this process is as easy as opening the valve under the machine, and that's it. This comes in handy if you need to empty the boiler for shipping or long-term storage. When the machine is idle, the display shows the current boiler temperatures, with an icon that will display to the right to tell you which one is heating. On this home screen, you also have a one-touch button to enable or disable Eco mode. The way CREM handles this feature is a bit different from some other manufacturers. Settable in the menu, you have 2 inactivity times, one for Eco and one for standby. Eco lowers the boiler's temperature to a level that you choose to reduce power consumption, but still allows the machine to heat up to normal operating temperature quickly when needed. Standby mode turns off power to both boilers until you come back and awaken them. When you pull a shot, the screen will switch to a shot timer, and you can set how long that time persists after you finish your extraction. The display is also your portal into 2 different sets of menus, the barista menu and the service menu. In the barista menu, you'll find commonly accessed functions like adjusting your Gradual soft pre-infusion, boiler temperatures, turning on or off individual boilers, programming your on-off schedule, changing your date, time, and units, and more. In the password-protected service menu, you get a deeper level of control for service reminders, boiler priority, water inlet settings, and a whole lot more. These functions are extensive and powerful, so we'll be putting out a separate video just focusing on going through the different menus and how to adjust all of your parameters. To take us for a tour of the internals of the CREM ONE Infuser, I asked Todd to lend his first-hand knowledge. He's been working with CREM on these machines for a number of years, even visiting their production facilities in Gandia, Spain, to get a hands-on look at the lineup in its early stages of development. Since then, he's been testing and providing feedback to CREM until both parties were incredibly happy with the results that we have today. With that, let's get a look under the hood.
Thanks, AJ. So let's take a look inside the machine. And the first thing I want to talk about is the water inlet. Here's the water inlet. If you hook up a water line, you can pull this cap off. And now we have a solenoid valve here. And there's also a second solenoid valve inside the machine. You can't see it's deep in there. So you have 2 safeties, but they both open up when the pump goes on. Safety in case you ever have any issues inside the machine, you won't flood out the house. This here is a backflow preventer, and this fits onto here. There's your water inlet to the machine. That helps get us SGS approval for use in commercial kitchens. And now, maybe a little silly thing, but I want to show you. Here's the power cord, very heavy duty power cord. We like this. They draw a fair amount of juice, and you got to have a good cord with it. Now we'll start around here and work our way around. Here's a safety valve, also known as a pressure relief valve. If that blows off, it blows the steam down through this tube into the drip tray, so you don't get steam blowing off inside the machine. Very unique to Crem. I don't know of any other companies that are doing that. We really like that feature. On top of the boilers over here, we have a few things. There's your high limit for your brew boiler. And there's a high limit for your steam boiler. Those are the sensors for your PID temperature control. Here's your vacuum relief valve. And here's your water level probe for keeping the steam boiler to the proper level. Now you see the two boilers here. Here's the brew boiler, 1.5 liter, which is a big boiler, but then we have a 1.7 liter for the steam boiler. And you can see it's copper, and it got a brass end plate. Really like the way they do that. Now AJ mentioned how you preheat the water going to the brew boiler to help maintain a good steady temperature through a heat exchanger, and that's where this is here. So your water to fill the boiler comes through this Teflon tube, through this solenoid valve, which opens, sends water through here up and to fill the boiler. Now for your brew water, it will come through this tube here, up through the heat exchanger, then through this tube over to your brew boiler. So that's your preheating for your brew water. Back here, here's your control board. Then this board here, this is what controls the variable speed DC motor for your pump. So this is why, if you looked at the other video of the vibration pump dual boiler machine, it didn't have this, but it had this. This is an addition. And over here, here's your variable DC motor, variable speed, your Fluidotech pump, really nice quality pump. And you have your two static relays. You got one there and one there, one for the brew boiler, one for the steam boiler. Now if you need to adjust the brew pressure, it's actually from underneath the machine here. Right there, you use a screwdriver. And you can actually move the machine to the edge of the counter. You can reach up and you can turn that if you ever need to adjust the brew pressure. And over here is your reservoir. Now when you take it in and out, little edge there sits down in here and it activates a switch. That's how the machine knows the reservoir is in place. That's pretty much the basics of the machine.
The Crem ONE Infuser takes the framework and years of development that went into the Expobar Brewtus and improves it with more versatility, control, and in my opinion, a better visual appearance. With the rotary pump and Gradual soft pre-infusion, you'll see, hear, and taste the difference in your cup. The ONE Infuser is available now from Whole Latte Love, and if you have any questions about it, leave a comment below and I'll get you answers. I'm AJ, and thanks for watching. For more videos on espresso tricks, tips, and tech, subscribe to the channel and be sure to come back for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.